We need to fix some resizing issues. Notice in the finished one, when we resize it, the sign up and the Tahoe do not shrink or grow when we move the viewport. Yet in the one we're working on, notice how the sign up becomes a square instead of a rectangle and the Tahoe shrinks. We want to fix that so those don't shrink like that. So let's go to our text editor and go to our CSS page. And let's use a new CSS declaration with a flex-shrink for the sign up. So let's go to navbar sign up. Right here at navbar sign up. And right after the stretch, align self stretch, let's put in a flex-shrink, F-L-E-X, -shrink. It's cool, it shows that it's wrong spelling until I get the proper color. Put my colon in, and we don't want it to shrink, so we're going to put a 0 there. And we want the same thing for the navbar logo. Instead of typing that line of code all the way over again in declaration, we can just highlight it, edit copy, go to navbar logo up here, and put it before the margin right, kick that down a line, put the cursor in there and go edit, paste. And while we're here, let's go on the logo and tell it what size we want it to natively be when it comes in. And that's going to be a new declaration under flex shrink. And that's going to be flex-basis. Put a colon there. This is going to be on the main axis. And we're going to put 160 pixels is the native size we want it to come in, 160 px. And make sure you have a semicolon after that. Let's save that. Refresh. You notice that's our flex basis 160, and as we change the size of our viewport, we notice our sign up and our Tahoe does not change size. We did that by putting in the rule again in our text editor, flex-shrink, and we don't want it to shrink, so we put a 0 in there. So there's some shorthand we can also do to make this even simpler in the navbar logo if you have multiple things. So instead of coding it in the navbar logo like we did with the flex shrink and the flex basis, we can combine those into one declaration. We can go and just say flex give it a space, and we put a 0 in. And that first 0 stands for our flex grow value. Make sure to put your colon before the flex though. So that's our flex. Get that semicolon out of there. We don't want that there. We just have the general flex statement, colon, 0. That's the flex grow that we used before. Give it a space. The next number is going to be your flex shrink. We can put a 0 there instead. And then your flex basis, give it another space and put the value in for your flex basis, 160. And put px for your pixels. And since we have our flex shrink and our flex basis right next to each other, we don't need those two lines up here. It's just a little bit cleaner code. Let's test that, save that. Go back over to our, and nothing should really change. And there is our working version. It looks just like our finished version. And that's sizing and alignment in Flexbox.